Our God would never send us to battle without knowing exactly what the war is about and what we're trying to accomplish in the war as a whole. He's not like the generals of the armies of this earth that just tell you your little compartment and don't give you the full mission. He has given us the full mission. And in this video, I want to share with you what that is and what this spiritual war that we're in is really all about, where its roots are, what it all stems from, what the Almighty Yahweh is trying to accomplish right now in this age, and what Satan, Lucifer, the devil, also is trying to accomplish, and why he still believes, even with what's written, that he can win this war. He genuinely does. And I'm going to let you in on the details of that today. I want you to know exactly what's happening and why, to give us a higher level understanding of who God is and really what his purposes are right now with us, especially because without understanding his goals, without understanding his mission, his personal mission, the mission of our Creator, how could we ever follow him in spirit and truth? How could we ever understand his heart enough to know why we're doing what we're doing, to motivate us into service to him when we do have a thing called free will? And here's the thing that we need to understand more than anything else right now in this battle, that the entire war is about the issue of free will. And it's been that way since the beginning of what we know as time. It's been that way since the beginning of what we don't even know as time. Whatever God has in his timeline, in the realm he lives in, whatever that timeline looks like, the issue of free will has always been an issue in that spiritual realm. And so when God, in his infinite wisdom, decided to create the heavens and the earth that we live in and have been living on and within for the last 6,000 or so years, he decided he was going to conduct an interesting experiment. And that experiment was simply that he was going to give all of his creation the choice to serve him or go along with what were recognized as the spiritual laws at the time, where when a creator created his thing, his universe, when a creator creates the universe that he creates, that all things exist in him, that in that universe, that creator creates his creation automatically to worship him and doesn't have free will. And so the prized creation of the creator never has a choice. It's just automatic. And so as a creator that's infinite, that is an Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, no beginning and no end, always expanding and always growing. In order for a creator like Yahweh to continue to grow and expand, he always has to be learning, building, growing, straight timeline of growth that continues for infinity. He has to learn. And the way a creator in Yahweh's realm learns is through his creation. And he creates a creation that he also experiences everything through, right? Whether it's a blade of grass, whether it's a human being, whether it's a bird or a tree or the wind or the smallest microorganism. Yahweh is experiencing the reality of his creation through what he's created. And that's how it is in that realm. And as a creator, the easiest way to grow, the simplest way to expand yourself in creating the universe you create, the easiest way, the recognized way, the way it's always been done, is that your creation worships you by default. And it makes sense. Because if I was a creator and I could create a living, breathing creation with all kinds of life and a spiritual realm of angels that were beautiful, that could be whatever I wanted them to be and look however I wanted them to look and act however I wanted them to act, don't you think by default, that we would create a creation that would adore us, that would worship us, and not a creation that we say, you have a choice. You have choice. Even though nothing that you exist in would exist without me, you still have a choice. And if you think you can do it better, you're made in my image, he says. You're made in my image. All of my creation is my image. I'm within it, and it's within me. If you think you can do it better, well, have at it then. Have at it. And that's what happened. And when he created Lucifer, the most glorious angel that he created, the most beautiful angel of light that he created, Lucifer knew the spiritual rules. And he knew that free will would never work. It would never work. That you had to create a creation that would worship you, Yahweh. This is insanity. Your whole creation is going to rebel against you. And Yahweh said, okay, are you rebelling against me then? Because you also have free will. And all my angels also have free will. And if you think you can do better, well, then go do it. And he turned the earth over to Satan. And Satan's one and only goal, ever since then, was to turn Yahweh's creation, all of his creation, including humanity, into a creation that must worship Lucifer, Satan. That must worship him. That doesn't have any other choice. That falls in line with the spiritual principles in that realm that he recognizes and that have always worked. But Yahweh's different. Yeah, that's why those of us who serve us on this earth are so different. Because this earth serves Lucifer. This earth, the whole earth is run by Lucifer, and everybody serves Lucifer whether they realize it or not, because just going and conforming with the systems of this world, all of the systems of this world are serving Lucifer. And doing it without even realizing it. He's done it so masterfully through the 6,000-year age that we've been living, since he rebelled. I mean, he probably rebelled earlier, but within our timeline of humanity, when Adam was deceived through Eve by Satan, the devil, the dragon, the serpent. And don't you want to eat from that tree that God put there? The tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God didn't have to put that there. And I believe, and I know for certain, that God put that there because he wanted to test the idea of free will. And he almost gave up. He almost gave up because after that first age that led up to Noah and the flood, the world had become so ridiculously evil by what Lucifer had done to it, and getting it all to worship him in every way through genetic modification of human beings, through fallen angels mating with human beings and creating giants, and then disembodied spirits of those giants becoming demons that haunt us to this day. And through everything that every system and every religion, including Christianity, especially in this day, and the 501c3 church businesses, including all religions on earth today, are run by the beast, by the dragon, by Lucifer. Your education, your vocation, everything is of the system of this world. And so we worship it by default without even knowing it. But Lucifer needs more than that. What he needs is a humanity that worships him by choice, by choice. And when he accomplishes that, he believes that he will ascend. When he is able to take Yahweh's creation and turn his prized creation, humanity, into a creation that must worship him, Lucifer, and must do it, just like the spiritual principles tell him in that realm, then he will ascend and he will prove that Yahweh's free will experiment didn't work. And so God almost gave up on it, leading up to Noah, because the world had become so evil. And he said he was grieved in his heart that he had ever made man, and he regretted it. But yet he saw one man. He saw one man on the entire earth, Noah, who was righteous in his eyes and followed Yahweh. all the days of his life. And he said, you know what? I cannot lose this. I cannot lose this. I'm going to open the floodgates of the heavens. I'm going to open the waters of the great deep, and I'm going to flood this whole thing and start over with some new rules. But he was this close to saying this didn't work. He regretted that he had made man, it says in Genesis. And sometimes I think he feels that way again when he looks at what the beast has done to the earth. And he said at the very end of the Old Testament in Malachi 4, verses 4 through 6, that there is still a chance that he will strike the earth with a curse. And if he strikes the earth with a curse, that means his free will experiment did not exist, and then he has to start, or did not succeed. His free will experiment did not succeed, and it'll be as though nothing ever existed at all. Nothing will be left to be saved whatsoever, and he'll have to start all over again with a brand new creation so that he can grow and learn and learn. And I'm telling you, he does not want to do that. He must win this war. He's taking a gamble in his realm. I know he is. Of giving us free will and giving this creation free will. But if Lucifer can create what the scientists of the age, the scientists and the mathematicians with quantum computing and CERN and the black cube and all these things they're doing, if they can accomplish what they call a God moment, they believe in summoning what they call the old ones. They want to summon the old ones. And those are not demons. Those are creatures in a different realm that will then judge the earth and say Lucifer's plan to make Yahweh's creation worship him instead of the creator, it worked. And free will failed. Free will failed as we said it would. And now, Lucifer, you as a creator of Yahweh have exceeded Yahweh. Have exceeded Yahweh by taking his creation and making it worship you, just as we recognize in our realm. Yahweh is so different. Yahweh is the ultimate underdog. And that's why all of his servants on earth, including his Messiah, Jesus Christ himself, came the first time meek and humble and as an underdog in this thousands-year war. Our Father is an underdog, trying the grandest experiment of all ages and giving his creation free will. Thank you, Father, for that. Because when we love him in the truth of who he really is and understand how deeply he needs us to make this work, he needs our obedience, he needs our free will to be fully turned and focused to him. And when we are that way, man, the riches he promises us for all eternity are endless. And especially for those of us in this age who are so disconnected from spiritual things that all other ages haven't been disconnected from, but we are. We're totally been disconnected from all spiritual things, real spiritual things that have been known for millennia. And us in this age have to be wise enough in the spirit to see through all the lies of Lucifer at the end of it all, when Lucifer's making his very last play, because he knows if he doesn't win this war, and if he doesn't get all of God's creation to worship him, including people like me, including the 144,000 in the 42-month period that the beast has full reign of the earth, including all to worship him. If he doesn't make that happen, he knows his future, and his future is 1,000 years chained in the bottomless pit, and then one more war to come against the saints at the end of the millennial reign, and then he will burn for eternity in the lake of fire, burning with brimstone, sulfur as his punishment. He knows that, and he's not ready to concede that by any means. He knows what Yahweh has written, and he knows how he plans on rewriting it by getting the attention of the old ones, the judges, who the scientists of earth say and the mathematicians say the quantum mathematicians say, will look at us as less than ants. So that's the war we're in, free will. And if your free will is to serve the living God, dig into a film in the clouds and see exactly how it's going to play out now and in the future, and then exactly what our reward is for serving the true Creator and choosing to serve the true Creator, and not only choosing to serve Him today, but also as Jesus Christ and every other saint and prophet has always had to do, had to finish the job, win the war, and then spend our eternity growing in the Father, Him as our Father, us as His sons, He says, to teach us as a father does a son, teach us to be as He is, to teach us who He really is, to teach us who we really are, and to grow and grow and grow with Him for all of eternity.